Hello, hello, and good evening. How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. We are back for another NGS cast. Tonight we have a Division C East matchup between Zirconium League and World Hunger's Avoidance Team. Joining me tonight is Kotip, one of my teammates on the One Tricks. How's it going, Kotip?
Hey Key, doing pretty good. Excited for the game tonight. One of the players on Zirconium played with us last season, so excited to see him play. No bias, not saying I'm rooting for them, but I hope he has a good night tonight.
So yes, let's. Cause teams are trying to still get the lobby set up. Um, but the Zirconium League and World Hunger's Avoidance Team. World Hunger's Avoidance Team currently sitting at second place in C East. Um, they did play a few more matches than most of the other teams, so um, I believe they're around 50% map score. So I guess at the end they are more like a middle of the pack at the moment when it all said and done. While Zirconium now sitting at ninth place with 7 points, just sitting outside that top 8 playoff bracket. We are kind of getting into the middle part of the season, so every matches start to count now for Zirconium League basically.
Yeah, they're gonna have to put everything they got into these matches, knowing. Well, if you look at the board, there's three teams tied there, right, with 7 points each. So you could see this kind of can swing any kind of way depending on how these teams perform. Um, so they're going to definitely be looking for a big night tonight to push them into playoff range as we continue through the season.
Right, exactly. So how did we get here? Map selection and bans. Um, World Hunters Avoidance Team won the coin toss. They chose first pick, and so first map goes to Zirconium League. That we are going to for Sky Foundry. Ban wise, Zirconium League bang out Dragonshire and Battlefield of Eternity, while World Hunters ban out Towers of Doom and Braxis Holdout. So Volskaya, first map chosen by Zirconium League, a map that my own team doesn't really like lately, so we're just banning it
Yeah,
out.
we tend to ban it out. I like to see that Braxis ban from World Hunger because when I look at the stats, Zirconium League has been performing well on that map. They haven't gotten too many games on there, but they've won their matches when they take them there. So they probably did a little bit of, a little homework there. Make sure they got the proper map bans out. So we got the lobby set up. Looks like they're making sure everyone's on the right side here. Some players need to be moved around.
It looks like my thing is only coming up from the left side again. I don't know what's going on. But I tried to fix it and hopefully it's fine.
Is there some kind of a mixer there on Twitch?
No, it's just I don't know, it's just a regular. No, I didn't touch any settings. It's just and it works last night cast too, so I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're inept as far as sound engineering goes. So we're gonna do our best here. As long as you can hear them, that's kind of that's a plus for sure. We're making progress here.
Imagine
It looks like you're.
what sorry? Go ahead.
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
checking. It says Caster. Oh, you said Caster R. They need to fix the teams, and you have host privileges.
Okay.
So I think
Fixing the teams. Yeah, teams look alright, but no, it's not alright.
everyone's in there, but not on the right side.
Alright, I will fix everything. It looks good. I will just give one of the team captain host, I think, and
Yeah,
so
so
that
they
I
can
don't
double
have
check.
to.
So something interesting. World Hunger Avoidance Team, they've actually played a lot of Zeratul games this season, so that's kind of a nice kind of little bit off the regular meta that we see in most games. So curious if we're going to see a ban. They have a 55% win rate with the Zeratul, so they're doing overall pretty good. So I'm curious if that's enough to warrant the ban, or if Zirconium League has planned something specifically to counter a Zeratul play. So that's something to look out for in the draft. Looks like the teams are just about set up.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was undefeated last season on his Probius, but he already lost a game or two already this season with it, so not
And
so
Probius
much.
saw some changes. I don't know if it was
It's a buff, I
specifically a buff.
believe.
It was a buff, so
Yeah,
maybe
I
that's
think.
enough to keep him playing it.
All right, but we are heading into the draft on
So World
Volskaya Foundry.
World Hunger here with the first ban. Let's see if there's anything specific they're going to target out here. Zirconium League's played a lot of Raynor, which is kind of a good all-around pick. Quite a few games of Tassadar as well, whose recent buff might make him more of a priority. And does pretty good on this map. Just kind of can put out a lot of damage on the point from a relatively safe distance. Could be a good pick here. Joe, classic ban we see throughout many series. There's the Zeratul immediately. Don't want to deal with the one trick.
Right, I think Michaelin is a pretty good Zeratul player.
Yeah, I was mentioning how they have a lot of Zeratul games under their belt this season, so they're gonna make him play something different. There's the Probius ban. I
But the
love this.
Probius player is not in the lobby.
Oh, really?
They
Interesting.
got him.
So they did their homework, but just didn't pay enough attention to the details there.
I was going to mention it, but then I didn't, so I don't want to
yeah, you can't
get into the way of like drafting, but
yeah.
but then they ban it. Now I can mention it, I guess.
I don't see any kind of problem there. So Sylvanas, the early pick, kind of a just all around strong backliner here, can pump out a lot of damage, turn off the towers, but they let Zul through. We actually didn't see a ban for Zul, and no first pick on Zul either. And Zirconium League's going to jump right on that. Still see him prioritized in banning and picking, even after his couple rounds of nerfs there.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually watched a few of Zirconium's League previous games, and Shadona seemed to be getting that Zul pretty often for some reason.
Wow.
Maybe it's I don't know, is it a Div C thing that it's not too strong, so they feel like the player execution is not as great? I don't know. But
It's curious, yeah. It's getting through the drafts, so we'll see how he plays this game. I mean, there's a lot to Zul that you could just kind of point and click, a lot of damage that just comes out on its own. So sometimes, the execution of a Zul is a little easier than it looks. Kind of just go in there and press all your buttons.
I thought that's how it works. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it's all about his W. You just walk in and just swipe, and then
yeah, the AoE W, especially if they have a lot of melee that you can kind of get that AoE basic attack onto, and it's healing you. It's getting faster. The cooldown is with all the talents. Now, granted, for World Hunger Avoidance Team, their front line doesn't look that that easy for Zul to get his action on. ETC can slide him to stun him. Rhaegar doesn't have to be in there biting and getting swiped on. He can just be healing. So kind of curious if we'll see any more frontline over here on the side of World Hunger.
So maybe that's the reason why they let Zul up, because well, if we don't play that many frontline,
well, there's more frontline.
Arthas.
But Arthas does give you a big slow and auto attack speed slow that Zul may be able to counteract, and Uther. Okay, so we've got a ton of frontline with the Sylvanas solo carry damage. Zul, it's kind of interesting because there's a lot of CC to try and stop Zul from ETC's slide. Uther's got his stuns. Arthas, not really hard CC, but the auto attack speed slow. Could be enough to negate Zul's power. So we'll have to see. The Mal'Ganis, his main role is going to be to try and slow down Sylvanas, because that's really the main source of damage for World Hunger Avoidance Team. And Zul, Mal'Ganis can kind of be messing around in the back line, and Zul holding the front line for the rest of their squishy heroes, Anduin and Lunara and Kil'thas. So overall, a pretty interesting draft. What are you thinking here, Key?
Zirconium has lots of CC with the Zul engaged. You have Kil'thas Labs there, you have Mal'Ganis Sleep, Anduin Root. But
yeah.
World Hungers have potential double cleanse here. Maybe
True.
that's how they
have a lot
plan
to sustain,
to
you're right.
counter that.
And ETC, Arthas, they both have a source of self-sustain as well. So they can kind of stay in these fights for a really long time. But Lunara also does a great job in long fights. She can just keep whittling down, keep poking. And, Uther can't really heal through all of that. Rhaegar is going to have to fill in that gap. Kil'thas pumping out a bunch of damage on easy root targets from Zul. It's going to be interesting from both sides. I think World Hunger's main thing is to be able to put out enough damage on this Sylvanas solo carry. And on the other side, Zirconium's got to be careful for a ton of CC that can really just hold a target in place. So it's going to be pretty interesting from both sides.
All right, let us introduce the team. I'll start off with the blue side. We have Zirconium League, Sudonis on Zul, Weatherswain on Kil'thas, Pet Wolverine on Lunara, Daton on Mal'Ganis, and Lulu on Anduin.
Gonna shout out to the Probius spray right there. On the other side, World Hunger Avoidance Team, we've got Jen Zors on the ETC, Uther, played by Brickhouse, Viziot the Rhaegar, Spogino on the Arthas, and Michaelon on Sylvanas, as everyone heads mid here. Lunara's level 1 talent, the Wisp in that bush up at the top, is going to give the blue team a lot of vision. Her level 1 talent makes it so once that Wisp is sitting in a bush, the vision is really, really large. So you should expect to see the Wisp there throughout the game for Lunara. There's a slide onto Mal'Ganis, but he's going to get out just fine. Not enough damage really to pressure him.
Yeah, so on this map it's a mid top rotation between the 4-man. Looks like Zirconium has a slight advantage at the moment here. Mal'Ganis trying to stall the rotation.
Yep. We're going to see a little bit, definitely better wave clear from Zirconium League. Sylvanas' wave clear doesn't really come online really even till level 4. If she takes that talent, which we'll see if she takes that wave clear talent. Both teams moving on to their camps down at the bottom to get the turret.
Yeah, and World Hungers have to send Uther top to just be the kind of place holding off lane there now, because they cannot keep up with the rotation.
What do you think about... Oh, and they're moving right in onto the Sentinel camp. This could be a good play. They have a pretty strong early game. But let's see if they can hold this.
All 10 players
ETC
is
grabs it.
up here.
ETC's pretty low, but he survives. Zul swiping his heart off. Rhaegar is going to go down to Kael'thas bomb. And we see a double kill here for Zirconium League. Can they get the ETC slides away? He's good to go. So that's a good play right there, bringing everybody up. You could see the power of Zirconium League's comp right off the bat.
Right, with the Zul engaged on the root. I'm not too sure about that support camp, starting that support camp there.
Yeah, once Zul came up, they had to be really careful about it. They did cap the points, so they got the XP out of it, which is, you know, at least a consolation prize. ETC was standing there, but that's about all they can claim. Zirconium League's gonna walk away with the camp.
So they will have the items advantage when the first objective spawn in 17 seconds. Both teams looking to do their bruiser camp or siege camp. Rather
a bit low on mana for the start of this objective. He is pretty mana hungry, that is one thing. When he's using all his abilities to wave clear. So we'll see if he decides to tap or back before this objective fight starts. Nobody moving onto the point yet.
Right. Both teams trying to clear out the siege camp at the top lane before moving down.
Yep. Zirconium League looks like they get the first channel, which is important because if the fight continues, they at least have the percentage clicking on their side.
Both
EXP,
teams,
yeah.
Both teams trying to still clearing out the camp at the top, and both camps are still in lane here. Wow,
Lunara poking away. Looks like it's about to be cleared by both teams. Red team now takes control of the point. ETC on point. Both teams doing a good job of soaking all lanes even while this objective is up. Zul and Arthas move back to the bottom lane, making sure they get that soak. And both teams hit level 7 around the same time here for where the fight's about to break out. But you could see the mid wave is pushed all the way in on World Hunger Alliance.
yeah,
they'll clear that out before this fight.
The turret is back up on both sides, so both teams are taking their respective turrets, and I believe that no one has dropped any items yet, so it will be 2 turret and a heal post against 2 turrets.
So there's going to be a lot of items here. We're going to see what's the play. Sylvanas took the stacking quest at 1. Oh, and there's a route onto Sylvanas by Zul. Mal'Ganis diving in
for the follow-up,
and we see big play onto Uther, a lot of CC onto him, the sleep, all the stuns, everyone taking tons of damage. There's a slide onto Mal'Ganis at 1 HP. He gets away. A lot of heroes low on the side of Zirconium, but not enough to close the kills out.
World Hungers they are pretty low, and they probably have to give up this point, but they don't want to give it up just like that.
Yeah, they gotta be careful.
Looks like they're giving up.
Yeah, they gotta give it now. They're making a play onto Anduin. They got the stuns onto him, but Sylvanas was kind of not right next to the stun, and unfortunately couldn't get the damage out in time.
Right. I think it used to be having the protector is pretty strong, but I think what I see lately is the defending team is trying to get onto the free man out of the protector.
Right, because you almost have a team fight advantage in that sense, right?
Right, with the tower change, that may be the play actually.
That's kind of interesting of a change of strategy there. But they're burning this down pretty good. Zirconium League does manage to get the top well. Sets them up for the next objective, is usually the play you go for with the first protector.
Yeah, it's all about the top well for the first protector usually.
Making a play onto Anduin again. There's a root. Anduin's stuck in place. A lot of damage there, but they've hit level 10. A huge light bomb keeps him alive. It's probably time for Zirconium League to make a play here onto the Arthas. And everybody's going to try and survive now. Oh, but here comes Pyroblast. All all aboard the Kelthos Express now. 6 kills to 0. Zirconium League looking pretty strong.
So when Arthas died there, he was kind of split off, and even though World Hungers have double cleanse, none of their healers is actually close to it, because
yeah, and I'm curious if even if they got the cleanse off, like, how would he get back? He doesn't really have mobility. He'd just kind of have to saunter back to his friends, and he didn't have his level 10 yet, his Army of the Dead, so I don't know if he even could have survived. So Zirconium League taking advantage of this, has a full level lead now.
Looks like World Hunger's trying to invade this, or at least try to stop them from
There's
taking
a slide
this
onto Zul, stun, and we see the Mosh on 2. Bloodlust, they get a kill here onto Kelthos. Zul also looking pretty low. They get 2 here. They made a play with the Bloodlust.
Well,
I like that the double cleanse, you know, in this sense, Uther was able to cleanse Rhaegar to make sure he got out of there safely. So kind of gives the healers each the safety of having themselves be cleansed.
Well, that's a good point actually, because they cannot cleanse themselves, but you have double cleanse and they can cleanse each other, I guess.
Yeah, it's something definitely to be said about double cleanse. Always, obviously, it's takes a lot of communication to make sure that you're not, you know, cleansing at the same time and wasting a cleanse on the same target, because you see them get CC'd.
World Hunger's taking advantage of the 2-man kill there and pushing in bot here a little bit.
But at the same time, you know, look what's happening top. They focus so much on the bot lane that Zirconium League decided, hey, no one's gonna pressure us even with the man down. Let's get the top fort.
But World Hunger's has actually got here in time.
Look at this, they make a play onto Kelthos. Looks like the Kelthos Express is taking a detour to the spawn zone for the time being. But a lot of damage. Top fort gone, middle fort ready to die here as well for World Hunger Avoidance Team.
Right, so they do not have a fort for this second objective, which is huge. They already lost the well, so
yeah, the well is one thing, but now they also have that catapult pressure coming in on them, just keeping the lane pushed out against them. Nothing to fall back on.
So they really need this objective, or else like Zirconium may be able to snowball this out.
There's another slide now onto Zul. He's stepping back. They're gonna need to pull back and wait for their next chance to engage. There's Mosh onto 1.
Can they kill it?
No real way to stop it. There's a kill onto Zul. Only person in the Mosh.
Yeah, Bloodlust is out now. Mal'Ganis getting CC, getting pulled back.
But he's able to survive for the time being. There's a slide, just misses Mal'Ganis, and he gets out safely. It looks like Sylvanas able to put out tons of damage with this level 1 quest she went. Let's see how many stacks she's at. 118 stacks on her level 1. Basically, Sylvanas' W does spread damage to
Sylvanas is getting a bit too far up, but double heal.
Double healer keeping her alive, but just barely. They need to get out of here probably for the time being. They're making a play onto Mal'Ganis, turning it back around. The double healer proves so strong in the team fight, keeping everyone just barely alive, enough to make that kill turn back around.
Leaping, I was surprised that Leaping Strike wasn't used by Lunara, because I think at any point in that fight, I think Sylvanas would have been dead there.
Yeah, absolutely. Leaping Strike alone does 470 damage at this point, so it's not even about the poison, it's just the burst damage that she can put out. So Lunara's got to be looking for that, because they need that burst to be able to close out kills against the double healer.
But
They're taking the chance.
Even with that kill, even if the man advantage, they decided to give up the point for now and go around the map and get all the items. So they have 2 turret now on the side of
Kind of curious though, they gave
World
up the support though. They gave up that the support camp in the time being. So hard to say which one's more valuable. Two turrets or 1 support. We'll see now as the fight's about to break out again. Root onto Arthas from Zul. Mal'Ganis diving into the back. We see 1 turret down. And Zul's Poison Nova comes out, hitting a lot. Zul goes down though, not enough. And there comes the healing pulse, maybe a little late. There's the mosh pit. They don't have too many interrupts, but they get the light bomb just in time to stop that mosh pit from getting another kill. Bloodlust also comes out, maybe a little too late to have any value, so that's going to be on full cooldown.
Definitely, I think the Bloodlust, if the Bloodlust came out a little bit earlier, it would have been much more effective. But they got this Mal'Ganis out of position, trying to soak the wave a bit too far up.
Yeah, it almost looked like they planned that, because Sylvanas was alone in the lane, kind of just trying to pretend she's pushing the tower. Mal'Ganis steps out to put a star on her, and everyone shows up and just wrecks him. Kind of hard to do to a Mal'Ganis, but clearly they were able to do enough CC to stop him from getting any of his abilities off. Good play there.
They will not have Mal'Ganis for another 10 seconds, so looks like they're giving this up.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Zul is pushing at the bottom lane with a wave, so he will get...
There's the...
he doesn't...
Yeah, he gets the well, which is, I mean, it's what you want to get with the protectors, right? So he's done the protector's work. And let's see how they deal with this protector up top. Zul is still pushing bot. They're going to get that full fort here.
Right, so WorldHunger doesn't take the protector bottom, which is usually the play, but they instead choose to guarantee that top fort.
There's a Pyroblast onto Sylv. She needed... Okay, she ate it just in time. She needed to eat it while she still had that shield from the protector, and does all right there. Uther decides to step out. ETC steps in. See, these are the big micro plays that we don't like to do when it comes to the protector on this map. That's why we don't like to play it. These guys are doing some smart in and out on the protector.
So WorldHunger did not get a chance to rotate bottom and try to take that well off. So again, when the third objective comes around, they will not have their fort or their well.
There's a slide there onto Zul again, but he gets the pull from Anduin, survives. Mal'Ganis deep, doesn't get a sleep off on anyone. There's the Poison Nova, hits 2. And it looks like WorldHunger is just trying to get out of this. No fort here. And there's a huge slide! 4-man! There's nothing to stop this. Kael'thas did not have his E available, and it's just all aboard the fucking WorldHunger Express here. That was insane. What a turnaround.
Right, a huge mosh pit coming from Genzo there.
Yeah, they've done a great job of kind of pulling back when they need to and waiting for those cooldowns and re-engaging. Post 10, they've really shown that they've got this comp down for the team fights, because they're really handling these team fights. Those 6 kills against them were, I believe, all pre-level 10, and since then, WorldHunger has really been a powerhouse.
Right, they definitely look a bit shaky at the start, but well, it's not about how you start the game. The early kills don't give your team that much XP, so it's all about the mid game and the late game. So they are doing pretty well, even though they're still behind in structure. They do not have any forts left. Zirconium, they still have 2 forts up.
They're getting close to level 20 though. They're gonna have that advantage. I'm sure this next protector's spawning soon.
Right, they have more than a level lead at the moment.
You know, something to say about taking the top fort here. I'm just spitballing because, you know, I don't have too much meta strategy for this map, but by taking that top fort, it kind of relieves the pressure when they're on point C at the bottom. They won't be being pushed in. It'll kind of even out the pressure from the catapults on both sides. So maybe that can kind of work to their advantage, since they've been doing so well in the team fights.
That is a fair point. Just making sure the lanes are even so that you can focus on the lane that the next objective is coming up. Even though you don't have an advantage there, letting Zul get that fort while the second objective was going on, but like you said, like they have the better team fight so far, so if as long as they can get the third protector, like it doesn't really matter if they don't have a fort.
Right, yeah. The way these team fights have been going, and it looks like they're looking for action. They're all heading top, searching for the blue team.
They're coming
Arthas
really aggressive
getting
with
real
level
close.
20.
They're under towers right now, and they're gonna back off. Sylvanas up to 175 stacks. I don't know where I read it. Somebody did the math, and they said somewhere around 175 stacks is where the Q and the where the Q build and the W build kind of even out. But that doesn't really account for the spread damage that the W build does. And I think what we're seeing in this game is that spread damage is really putting the pressure on Anduin to keep his team alive. So lots of stacks, really putting Sylvanas in the hyper carry position now.
It's interesting to see both Sylvanas and ETC took both of the Storm at level 20, so watch out for those blinks.
Yeah, so now ETC can blink in for a big mosh opportunity. Sylvanas has that safety, or, you know, she can aggressively blink as well, but usually going to hold that for safety. Let's see how Zirconium reacts to this push in the bottom. Zul is pushing top currently. So this is 5v4, Uther on the point. Zul still pushing in top, decides to step back.
That bottom fort is one hit away, but does not quite matter at this moment.
Right. They did get the well, so they kind of even out that advantage that Zirconium League had.
Yep, they pulled out when Zirconium League get level 20, so they will give up some percentage here while they rotated to the turret and now rotating.
Look at this, they have too many items. They have 5 items already. They're gonna have to give up a turret for this.
Right. And they dropped the heal post? Well, I don't know about that one.
Okay, they're saying 4 turrets, because remember, Sylvanas also has Mercenary Queen at level 4.
Right,
so
turret
4
may be
turrets?
better. Yeah, 4 turret, yeah, good point.
Potentially 4 turrets with Mercenary Queen, that sounds kind of scary.
Right.
Mercenary Queen improving their damage by 60%.
And they are not even rotating back to the objective, instead they're pushing top, forcing...
Look at this. They're going to force a response here out of Zirconium League. Only Zul comes back at this point. They need to play onto him.
Objective. But,
they put everything on Zul. He gets out. ETC still tanking this fort from putting the first damage onto Zul,
so
but he does get out.
Yeah, they did not get the keep, while the protector taken by Zirconium League actually have 2 people in there and pushing through the keep as well. So is it like a base race here?
Is this base race? I mean, it looks like you know, the red team is already on the core, so they have the advantage of already being on the core.
Right.
Blue team still pushing, and the shield is down.
Yeah.
Bloodlust extra damage here.
Soul actually went down as well, and looks like WorldHunger's actually got the
What a
core.
play there at the end.
Yeah,
Great.
That was a pretty good call, I would say.
It's really hard for Zirconium League to make a decision there, because, you know, once they see the keep go down and that they're still pushing, you know you're not going to win the base race, especially with 2 of your guys in the protector. You got to make the call to come back.
Yeah, you just have to get out of the protector and just herf and just kind of let the objective go.
Yeah. I'm sure there's, you know, in the comms, there's that kind of moment of like, can they really end right now? Or, you know, so I'm sure that makes it a difficult call. But we see that great just push at the end, give them the win there.
Right. With double support, it may not seem like they can do a lot of core damage, but then they do have a pretty stacked Sylvanas that can put out a lot of auto attack, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, Sylvanas, I mean, her build doesn't necessarily improve her core damage, but remember, they had all those turrets that were also poking at the core.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Arthas went a very much damage-oriented build. He didn't go the root build. He went more on his D, on his trait, where he gets a double auto attack. So that definitely adds to his damage. And with the bloodlust, Arthas is attacking faster. Everyone's attacking faster. So
Right.
that made the difference.
Yeah, I guess free turret, free Merc Queen turret, and Bloodlust, it's all you need. That core
There you
actually
have it.
dropped pretty fast.
Yeah, new strats. We've seen them here.
I was looking because my camera was on the core, but I was kind of like take a peek at the minimap there. I think at one point, like you mentioned, they weren't really sure what to do on the side of Zirconium League. At one point, I think the protector was like kind of stand still for like a couple seconds. I guess they were debating whether we should get out and herf or like just keep going.
Right. So maybe even the driver got out and the gunner's sitting there like,
Right.
"Hello?" Yeah. So that's got to be a split-second decision. Are we going home to defend this? And it looks like World Hunger able to take down the core hastily.
All right. So first game going to World Hunger's Avoidance Team. Let's see, where are we going from game number 2? I hope they're doing their own thing and not waiting for me to say something. Let me see if I can whisper Shadonas here. But pretty close game one. Both teams have different kind of focus. Zirconium League was able to have the map pressure for most of the games, but then team fight wise, World Hungers actually was doing way better. They were able to turn around quite a few fights.
Yeah, I think once the Sylve really started getting stacked, it made the difference for their damage output. They were able to, it looked like, kind of just focus the Zul, which is, maybe that's kind of the counter that they've been thinking about, is if we could just CC the Zul out of existence, then there's nothing to worry about there.
Right, and it's all about the first kind of route, right? Like if the route engage doesn't really land onto anyone, or like that target doesn't die, then Zul kind of lose a lot of
Yeah, of his
his
value.
power. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't really stand in there. They can't follow up, and with the double cleanse, he's by the end of the team fight, none of his roots will have landed if they're just cleansing him.
Right. So second map is chosen by World Hunger. So Zirconium League wants first pick, and we are going to Cursed Hollow.
Nice. Cursed, a good map for kind of that same kind of control. You want to be controlling the where the objective is spawning enough to be able to channel it. So different kinds of things you could do on this map. It's a relatively large map for split push pressure, being able to poke down as they're channeling to stall the objective out, and just raw power there to control the objective points.
Yeah, for sure. I like Cursed Hollow, double boss and a big map. A lot of options that you can take on the map. So lobby is being created.
So who picked this map? Was this map choice or first pick for Zirconium League?
It's a map pick by World Hungers.
Okay, so we'll see first pick over here, Zirconium League. Wonder if they're still going to prioritize the Zul after him getting kind of focused down last game. They plan on leaving that open and trying to take it. not as much of a split pushing, or not as much of a laning map, I would say, because you can't really rotate top mid or mid bot. Just because the lanes are so far apart, you kind of want a 1-3-1 soaking situation. So not ideal for Zul. Um, so we'll see what his priority is here and whether we're going to see Zeratul banned out. I'd say this is a pretty good Zeratul map, especially if he goes Void Prison around those boss fights. Can kind of set up big plays.
Looks like we're missing a couple of members on the side of Zirconium League. Well, they just showed up.
Yep, looks like we've got a full lobby here. So make sure everyone's on the right side. Captains are picked, and we'll be moving into the draft as soon as we get the R's from the teams here.
So what heroes do you like on this map?
This map, I mean, you definitely want some boss burning, some kind of auto attacker that can put a lot of damage on the boss. Raynor does good. If he takes Exterminator, he can really pump out the damage. Falstad gives really good boss control with his Gust. Heroes like that are kind of nice to see. Just really, it comes down to a lot of boss control in that sense when you're picking them out. In our last match, we just lost a match here on Curse Hollow, and we saw some really big Leoric entombs in those kind of choky hallways. Leoric can kind of get big entombs out of that, so potentially you could see some value in a Leoric pick, especially after his big ones in our match.
Yeah, for sure. Quite a few choke points around the tribute points.
Immediate Zeratul ban as we head into the draft. They planned that ahead of time. And there's the Probius. Is the Probius player in on this match?
No.
No, still no Probius player. So they knew they played a lot of Probius. They've got a reputation for it. But he's not in this game. We do see our old teammate, HomeBob33, jumps in this match for Zirconium League. He usually plays healers on their team. So let's see what he's playing tonight. Jaina, the next ban here.
So same band coming out from Zirconium League.
Curious, probably. Oh, there's Joe. Are we going to see a Zul prioritized here, or are they going to let it go after that first game goes to World Hunger?
I feel like Zul lose a little bit of value on this map.
Yeah, the push power is just not the same. They take the Sylv.
Yep.
Pet is a good Sylvanas player. I've played with him before, and he can play a pretty strong Sylv. So that's a deny pick, as well as a comfort for him.
Yep. Michaelin said, well, I can still play other heroes. I'm taking Greymane, which is pretty good on this map for boss control, or just pretty good. Like it's a good general hero.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of boss damage right there. Rhaegar as well, a lot of boss damage. Bloodlust obviously worked wonders for them last game. Greymane also really good, and Rhaegar taking camps, so they'll have a lot of camp pressure early on. And we see the Kael'thas again on the side of Zirconium League.
This time they take ETC away, one of the top 2 tanks, together with Joe here. So WorldHungers have to play something else on the tank front.
I think Brightwing, after her slight buffs, she also has Emerald Wind, which gives you boss control. She can push everybody off a boss point with her ultimate. So that could be potentially why they thought about it as a ban. Didn't want any sneaky plays there. Ooh, this is kind of an all-in on the Bloodlust. Thrall, another great Bloodlust target. Let's see if they're going to counter the Bloodlust in any way on the side of Zirconium League. Gust is a good Bloodlust counter. You kind of just gust everyone away. Tyrael, I mean, if he drops his Sanctification, can't gust them away, but that takes a lot of coordination on the side of World Hunger. Any kind of blind is also a good Bloodlust counter, because Bloodlust basically just empowers auto attacks.
And
Lily.
we see a Lily.
So Lily can blind a couple targets. She can't blind everybody. Likely to blind people in the front line, probably on Tyrael, Greymane if he's already jumped in, or Thrall. I guess everyone's kind of a frontliner there on the right-hand side, a lot of melee damage. Kael'thas, I've always thought of Kael'thas as kind of a melee buster, because they'll spread bombs if they try and focus on the same target. We'll see a lot of bomb spreading on the side of World Hunger.
Yeah, blind is good against Bloodlust, like you mentioned, but I'm not sure the Lily blind is enough.
Yeah, it's just a couple blinds, not even a targeted blind, just whoever's closest to her. So she's gonna have to be a little forward to get those off.
Yeah, you can get a 4-man blind at level 13, I believe, but
Okay. I could do something. And on the side, in their favor, World Hunger doesn't really have much CC, so Tyrael doesn't really put out CC. He's got a couple slows. Thrall has a root. Rhaegar has a slow. That's about it. Thrall's root is the only kind of hard CC, unless we see a judgment out of Tyrael, which would be super hype. I would be super down for that.
right.
So they're going to kind of just be all in on that Bloodlust. I think before level 10, they're probably just going to want to be laning and getting ready for that, and try and get those Li Ming resets once the fights break out.
And what this means that when you mention low CC on the side of World Hungers, that means Lily can actually stand there and pop the jugs and just heal everyone up.
Yeah, exactly. You can't stop the jugs.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because a root can't stop it. Really, judgment would be the only thing, and a sundering from Thrall.
Alright, and now we are getting into game 2, introducing the team on the side of Zirconium League. We have Shadonas on the Haka, Weatherwind once again on the Kael'thas, Pat Wolverine on the Sylvanas, Daton on ETC, and then Bob on Lily.
Cool, and on the right-hand side, the red team, World Hunger Avoidance Team. We have Michaelon playing the Greymane, Spogino on Thrall, VZ playing Rhaegar, Genzor's on Tyrael, Brickhouse on the Li Ming. Everyone meeting up here in the middle for this first clear. Now Tyrael able to notice he was able to put his shield on all those minions, giving them the first clear, the clear advantage for that fight. Tyrael also taking the level 1 that gives more shields to his allies, so bigger shields for all his allies, which we would expect them to be clumped up. So World Hunger kind of looking around, seeing if they catch somebody rotating.
The answer is no.
The answer is no, exactly.
Both teams are already going to their siege camp. As a general rule of thumb, at least for me, I feel like if the tribute is bot, you want to take the bottom side of the camp first and then rotate it to the opposite one, just so your siege can be on the opposite lane when the first one comes up. But
right, it's always nice to have that siege go. You want that siege going during the objective.
Yeah.
But sometimes just getting it out. They got 3 people in the bot lane, so they're gonna try and put some pressure on immediately with this siege camp. Greymane down there can do tons of siege damage.
And it's only Sylvanas defending at the moment still. Now
Yeah.
ETC and Lily is rotating back down here.
So they show up and get a slide onto Greymane, who switches forms and is able to walk away.
They're able to clear out the giants now, and taking some damage on the towers.
See, but now Thrall's going to have the problem in top lane. He's not going to be able to clear it so easy with Dahaka threatening him here. Already taking a little damage on his towers.
Yeah, there's not much he can do, and someone kind of have to come up and help him out. And the longer that he takes to clear this camp, the better for Zirconium League, because the first tribute point is spawning on the bottom side of the map, and the Haka, of course, has to dig in as well.
Almost got an entire tower already, and they're still kind of healthy. Greymane finally shows up to end this. I wonder if they're going to give this objective or see if Li Ming can poke it out and hold them. So, Li Ming's got to be cautious. There's an ETC right there. They're putting damage onto her. Nobody... Oh! Tyrael from above throws his sword to get the first stall. Let's see if Li Ming can get a stall here. No stall. First objective, curse point, going to Zirconium League.
Meanwhile, both Brewster Cam is fighting in the middle, and now the teams are going to come here to clear them out.
And really, you know, that really came down to that first Siege Giant. The pressure of the Siege Giant in the top lane, Thrall's inability to clear it by himself, didn't allow them to rotate to get that curse point.
Yeah, definitely. I thought like World Hungers would have the advantage there on the siege camp because but, like, they take too long to clear that out, and ends up being a disadvantage. And second tribute point is coming up in 10 seconds here. The Haka is still top lane, of course, pushing out as many waves as possible.
Yep, but they clear out mid. It looks like everyone's moving down. Tyrael catches them in rotation. So this is going to be a fight here. Dehaka already digs in, looking for a tongue onto Tyrael here. He gets a cleanse, walks away. ETC slides in. Nothing just yet, but there's some bomb spread. Thrall sends it over to Tyrael. Tyrael back in. Very low. Let's see Tyrael's trait value.
Onto the Haka. Oh, he would have gotten the Haka.
There's the counter kill. Li Ming gets the reset. But then there's a second kill onto Rhaegar, goes down.
It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Zirconium League, and World Hungers is really low, so...
Oh, there's a slide onto Li Ming, able to blink away, barely gets away. Thrall, playing crazy, gets another stall. I think Li Ming's got to really consider this one. Okay.
Alright, they decide to back off, which I believe is the right decision there.
At that point, yeah. Unfortunately, Li Ming not able to catch any resets off of that first kill. So we see the second point going over to Zirconium, and they are on curse point now. Which
yeah, and
after go ahead, yeah. After
yeah.
these changes.
Yeah, like with the Dahaka global presence, they already open up a full level lead with the 2 tribute advantage.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. He's able to soak just a little bit extra, even if it's just 1 wave extra here or there before joining the fight. It makes a difference, and they hit level 10 first. We're going to see Jugs from Lili, Wailing Arrow, Mosh Pit, Pyroblast, and Isolation. Pretty standard. Isolation, or Pyroblast, always fun, because it's just a huge, slow burst damage going to follow around somebody who he decides to attack here. Try and land on a squishy target.
And World Hungers has 10 seconds to get level 10.
Oh, they're not moving towards the objective just yet. I'm curious if they're... Nope, they're starting to make their way up there. They've hit level 10. Bloodlust, Earthquake, go for the throat. We do see Sanctification and Wave of Force here.
Li Ming is low on the rotation, and she is still not there yet with her team.
They need her here ASAP. There's a lot of damage onto...
A big mark from the 2.
Oof. Wow, what a fight. But there's some trait value. Everyone all aboard the Tyrael Express. We get some trait value out of Tyrael onto Kael'thas. Gotta love to see some Tyrael trait value. Everyone loves that. But now, Zirconium League cleaning up the fight. Tongue onto Li Ming. And they close out that kill as well. 3 for 2.
And with the tribute now, let's see how they set up the lanes. You want to try to get as much as possible, but all structures are still pretty intact right when the tribute starts. So let's see how much they can get out of this.
Yeah, but now with the towers all off, there's a camp pushing in the top lane. Sylvanas pushing in the bot lane. They've got pressure everywhere right now. They're making a play onto Dehaka, who just walks away, but too much to clear. They're going to lose the top fort. Mid fort pushed in.
Yep, they will lose the bottom one as well, as Sylvanas actually going in with the wave and get that down.
Yep, that's going to be 3 forts here. Let's see if they decide to do anything else with this.
20 seconds left. Maybe they will just rotate to their boss.
You know, in that last fight, unfortunately, we didn't see Sanctification nor Bloodlust come out, which a lot of their power lies in those two abilities, and I don't know what if they were waiting for a huge Sanctification, but Tyrael definitely had time to drop it. I don't know if it got put on a cooldown from some CC, but didn't see either of those come out.
So now both teams are trading out the bosses.
Just about equal time here. Obviously going to be better for Zirconium League, as it's going to be pushing on a keep, as World Hunger has to go defend to stop as much keep damage as possible.
Zirconium now still have level 13 advantage, and they try to come down here and protect the boss, because they said they will trade a keep.
Quick.
Yep, they will trade a fort for a keep.
Yep, so they decide to come defend. They got the camp at the perfect time. It's going to help defend as long as it stays alive. As long as they can keep it, it's going to be doing some decent damage to help destroy the boss. As it changes targets onto the minions, no longer attacking the boss. But it's a good defense. That's a good defense.
Right.
They lose one tower there and get the whole fort top, because only Dehaka was defending.
Yeah, they didn't want to push too far into the tower, so just getting some damage onto the wall.
They're coming in for an invade here. They're looking for it. They have their combo ready. They want in on this. Thrall takes a lot of damage. He's got the pyro on him, and he goes down. Pyroblast. Here's a huge. Everyone else in the mosh pit. Bloodlust can't do much when you're in a mosh pit. And that is, I don't know, I'm going to say all aboard the whole Zirconium League Express there, because that was an insane combo. First the kill onto Thrall, and then they just wipe everyone else, making the play. They're rushing down to this keep. Spawn times are still pretty short. Everyone's going to be back up. I think they're going to want this wall and head back out.
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, just like previous fights, Sank wasn't dropped, and Wave of Force wasn't used to interrupt the mosh pit. Oh, maybe I guess Li Ming was in the mosh.
Everyone was in that mosh. That was just, they were in a straight line, and that was lights out. But yeah, you know, that's something they're gonna have to think about going forward, is just maybe be a little more liberal pressing that button. You can't hold Sank the whole game.
Yeah.
Curious if it got put on a 10-second cooldown. It has a short channel time, half a second. So if he gets any kind of CC during that half a second, it gets put on a 10-second cooldown. So even a boop from ETC can stop that. Curious if anything came out.
So now, well, at least World Hungers did not lose any keeps just yet. So that's a plus for them. But they're still down 2 levels at the moment, and they do not have their 16, and most likely have to give up this tribute points once again. Yeah. They probably just have to spread out and get as much soak as possible.
Yeah, they're setting up a bush party here near the objective, hoping they catch them rotating, but looks like no one's rotating up. They're gonna get this one for free.
Yeah, I mean, they are all showing at the
Look
bottom
at this.
lane, so...
But they're saying, let's just do the counter push. Now blue team is rushing down to try and stop this.
And they will not be able to get the fort in time, and they may draw aggro. Oh
yeah. Oh no, they got it. They got it.
Yeah. Right. But they are on the wrong side of the map now.
Let's see, the whole team here now. Thrall drops his Earthquake. Here's the Bloodlust we've been waiting for. Jugs is already out for Lily. Red team looking pretty low, but there's a go for the throw. Gets 2 kills on the side of Greymane there. There's the Sanctification, and now a 4-man mosh gets stopped by the Wave of Force. That's the fight that World Hunger's been looking for.
Definitely.
Looking for the kill to Lily?
Yep.
And there's the full team wipe the other way. Wow.
With the death timer at least 25 seconds for the first person, can they even try to finish this game? Probably a bit too greedy.
Bit greedy. I'm wondering if they're going to go for the keep. A little low on the side of Tyrael. Yeah, I think they have enough to take the keep for sure. Between them,
Greymane is taking the tower shots now. He's
taking.
Oh my god, that was
that was curious. I didn't see the shield land on Greymane. I saw everyone.
I think he did get the shield, but still not.
It just
enough.
yeah, maybe it just got burned by the tower shot.
So now they still have another 5 seconds, so they should still be able to get this tribute.
Yeah, they need to hurry and channel it. Someone should be zoning. Yep. Uh-oh, Dahaka coming in the back with the dig. They get the tribute. Right. Run! He gets away. Okay.
Alright. A little bit scary there, but they did get the tribute.
Zirconium moving right onto their boss. ETC scoping around, making sure they don't know where the other team went, so he wants to make sure no one's going to move in on them. Looks like it'll be a free pickup. And now World Hunger's, trying to make a play onto their boss.
Would they go up there and contest it?
It looks like they're making their way up. They need to do this real fast. They do have a lot of boss damage.
Mosh Pit is up in 10 seconds.
Uh-oh.
They do have Sank here. They need to drop the Sank. Holy Ground is able to get it out.
Big Holy Ground. Silence onto everyone from Sylvanas. There's a stun. And there's the Sank we've been looking for. Huge Sank, and they continue. Whew. Greymane with that go for the throat. All I hear is rah, 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 rah. A lot of big damage coming out. Wait, did he? Okay, go for throat is on cooldown. I swore I heard it. It looks like he didn't get the reset, but he did get the one
so
kill
now
with it.
They don't even cap the tribute, so they want to go with
the
boss.
Boss pushing in.
But
boss is already going to get their keep.
Okay, so the Haka is getting the tribute, getting stalled out. But it's a 4-man push with the boss here, trying to get the tribute point as well. But
yeah, let's see. I mean, they've got about 10 seconds left. I don't think they can make a play for the core, but they are looking for it.
Right.
They are definitely moving forward.
This boss is still half health, but meanwhile, Zirconium League actually have the boss on core on the World Hunger side.
Yep. It's losing. It still has a third of its health.
On the side of
Zirconium. Oh wow! Another huge core call. Wow, 2 huge core calls here from World Hunger. Wins them the series. Zirconium looked pretty strong tonight too, and but those core pushes can't really do anything about that.
Yeah, for sure. Zirconium League has the upper hand most of the series, but just like we have been saying, like both games, team fight wise, World Hungers, they were able to get the turnaround that they were looking for. The Bloodlust and the Greymane and the Sand combo just shut down Zirconium League for the last 2 fights.
Yeah, honestly, holding Sank the whole game for that huge Sank in the last fight in the mosh pit. Everybody's in the sanctification. It was just insane.
Right, it was a pretty for sure.
Yeah. So really good play there. We saw those late fights. Really, World Hunger really performing. In game 1 after level 10, they really took off. Game 2, a little shaky once they hit 10, but once they got their combo together, it was lights out for Zirconium League.
Right. Let's see if anyone from World Hungers want to have an interview. So now World Hungers, I believe they will have. Let's go back to the standings. So they had 11 points and now putting them at 14th. So they will be back on top of the standings for the time being, at least, even though they have a few more matches played compared to the other teams. But
Right.
but still really good. Like you can just control your own game for the time being.
Yep.
But
So
we do have Michael and I believe getting on in this interview. So let's get onto one of the lobby channel in NGS.
let's do it.
free lobby free.
Hello.
Hello, Michael, and congratulations to your victory. How do you feel about those two games?
Feels good. I think we fell behind both games, but we persevered through the power of teamwork and friendship, and then we ran it down.
So
Right.
how did those comms feel in the early game when you kind of lost a few team fights in the early game? Were you able to kind of power through, or was there kind of a negative connotation going in there? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of just yelled at everyone until they stopped inting, and that
Nice.
seemed to work out pretty well. Yeah, like basically I was just screaming at everyone. Like game 2, or like Bronze 5 Li Ming just like got caught in a mosh when she was supposed to be her only mosh interrupt, so I just like spent like maybe a solid 3 minutes just screaming at him.
So berating people is an effective way of boosting team morale.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I mean,
Okay.
that's what I do, but my team don't really take that too well.
It's because you have a bunch of snowflakes on your team. Key.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We have been talking about both games that you guys have been losing the map pressure on both games, but you were able to find those late game team fight wins. Is that how you approach the draft going into both games, like just focusing on team fightings?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think late game team fighting is pretty important in this like state of the game. So it's usually just like what we draft towards, and I think that worked out both games pretty well. Like we might not have the best early game, but our late game is just insane, and we can just run it down, and I like running it down.
There was definitely some down running in there. So with the core calls, who decided that in that first game that it was like, oh, they can have the protector, we're just gonna win the game?
That was my call. My team was being a bunch of babies. Like they were just like, oh, the objective, wow. They were on the objective. 99. Oh my god, the objective's on a keep, and I just like muted them all. Like I don't know. I almost died on that keep because I had to alt tab and mute them all on Discord and then get back to the game. But it worked out in the end. You know, we hit the building. Silva's OP and stupid. And camps are stronger than the objective because this game is imbalanced. So we just won the game.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we saw you had 4 turrets and a heal camp moving in on that core. So I think with the Merc Queen, we imagine that did a lot of damage there as well.
Yeah, my team really likes hoarding.
Yeah, that's my problem on that map. I never drop the item. I'll just have it kind of like that till the end of the game. So
Oh, you gotta save it till next game. I mean,
yeah, exactly. That's my burden in every game, right? I don't think I ever used a max potion or my master ball in Pokemon. So
absolutely.
Yeah, anything from you, Kotip? That's it for me, I think.
yeah, I think that those were kind of the interesting points. Seeing those team fights and those core calls, they were really strong. On that Greymane build, I like to play Greymane as well. So you went with that Q at 13. I've been messing around with that as well. Is that kind of your go-to?
I like that talent when there's someone on my team that already gives me move speed, because then you don't need the move speed talent at 13, and then Unfettered just gives you like even more mobility.
Right, yeah, because the Q, you kind of get a really long slash with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the cooldown, you get just more damage.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, looked good
Alright.
from me, man.
All right.
All right.
Congratulations on the 2-0 victory. Any shout out before you go?
Yeah, shout outs to you guys for the fantastic cast. Thank you so much for spending some time of your night to just give us a little highlight. Shout outs to the enemy team. Well fought. Sorry it didn't go your way tonight, but good luck with the rest of your season. Definitely a tough match for us. Shout outs to my team, Rick Jose, Spohino, Jensors, Vezi. I don't know, they're a bunch of idiots, but whatever. I don't know. They like follow my orders. So
At least
I
they
guess
play
that's
with
okay.
you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I'll let you back to your team and enjoy the victory.
Yeah, thank you. Good
All
night,
right.
guys.
Good night. All right.
Good night.
So that's it. That's Michael from World Hunger's 2-0 victory tonight, putting them back onto the top spot for now on Division C East. Yeah, no, it was fun. Both games. One team taking the lead, having the map pressure, but the other team is able to come back. Those back and forth game is always fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a great series.
All right, that's it for us for tonight. Any closing comments, Kotip?
Nah, I've just been having a lot of fun doing this, so I hope we keep doing some more streams coming up. Thanks everyone for watching. It's been a blast.
Right. So I haven't picked up any cast for next week, but stay tuned. I guess we'll definitely come back for more casts at some point. But that's it for us for tonight. Have a good night, everyone. See you guys next time.
So, yep.